Joining us for more on the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development is Brand SA CEO Neville Matjie. Good afternoon, Neville. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, the conference is in its 9th year, but there seems to be greater interest in it this time around, given the geopolitical shifts that we've seen. Just firstly, share with us the importance of South Africa's participation in this conference this time around in particular.
This year is very important for South Africa's participation because as part of our process, the core mandate of this visit has really been focusing on exports. We're predominantly focusing on South African products and we're marketing those aggressively within the market here in Japan. It's part of the strategy from the government to look at diversification of markets, as you've indicated, in light of the geopolitical dynamics that we've experienced. One of the critical areas over and above, of course, the attraction of investments has been predominantly also driving our exports. We've been specifically looking at our agricultural products, specifically for Japan. There are greater discussions between ourselves and the Japanese government, particularly key agencies, that would ensure that compliance, particularly related to agricultural products, most of our products from South Africa are able to comply with their standards. So those are part of the discussions that we've been having in the last few days here in Japan.
So most certainly the developments around the globe have really been what the message or how you've been able to frame your message. But we've seen the scramble by international actors to expand their presence in Africa. But many are saying this second scramble for Africa, if you will, needs, or at least must be anchored on mutual benefit, not exploitation, of Africa and her natural resources. Is this the position that South Africa holds going into such a conference, that here there is a need for mutual benefit at all times?
100%. And the directive really that has come from our president has been, in as much as when you're looking at our trade between ourselves and Japan, it is more favorable to South Africa. But if you look at the products that are actually leaving South Africa to Japan, mostly are raw materials. The drive has been to ensure that we deepen the discussion around localization and value addition at source, rather than raw materials leaving South Africa and coming into the different markets for value addition, and then we import the finished products. So those are some of the discussions that we are having with the Japanese companies, specifically looking at some of our raw materials that are coming into this market and ensuring that we are able to align those with opportunities on the ground for investments in South Africa. We also engaging extensively, specifically looking at the special economic zones. We're looking at those as the anchor really to support industries wanting to invest in South Africa to capitalize on localization and also accessing of incentives in South Africa. So the special economic zones are very, very important and have really formed part of the pillars of our discussions here in Japan.
Now, the theme is co-creating innovative solutions with Africa. What is South Africa's interpretation of what this theme should look like for our economy?
Yeah, it's been quite clear in terms of how we've approached it. Through the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, they've engaged with a number of companies from South Africa. There's over 50 South African businesses that have accompanied the president as part of this visit. And those are businesses that are already in the manufacturing space as well. So out of that delegation comprises already 20% of companies, Japanese representatives of companies that have already invested in South Africa. The balance are new companies looking at new opportunities to engage with the Japanese market, specifically looking at, as I've indicated, our exports from South Africa, as well as new investments that would come into South Africa. Key sectors that we've been driving, of course, technology has been at the top of the discussions because, as you would understand, Japan is a leader in terms of technology, research and development. Minister of Science and Technology is here as well, and innovation, who form part of those discussions. The second part has been in the healthcare sector, but in particular, we're looking at how we advance the healthcare sector from a technology perspective to ensure that we are also able to compete at world-class level. And then, as previously indicated, the agricultural sector, as well as general manufacturing being the critical areas that we're wanting to attract investors and look at products coming from South Africa into this market. There are already a number of products in Japan. The common brands, as you would understand, rooibos tea is doing very well within the Japanese market. The South African wines, although more can be done on the wine sector, but we already have quite a number of our wine sectors within the Japanese market. And when you're looking at Japanese companies in South Africa, of course, Sumitomo, Toyota, that has really done well, Hitachi, etc. So those are some of the companies that are wanting to expand their reach within South Africa and expand their investments.
Neville, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That's Brand SA CEO Neville Matjie speaking to us there from the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development.